core focused class today, so I really want you to think about working every single area of the core. It's not just that six pack, we've got the pelvic floor, the transverse muscles that run underneath that belly button like a corset, the obliques running down the side helping us twist, the back muscles as well. So we've got a lot of things in play here that I want you to think about. I'll be cueing you throughout as well, just so you remember to do it. And please, if anything becomes too much and your core just becomes that you can't actually control it, bow out, take it down a notch, take a break, come to child's pose, and then you can come back in feeling nice and energized, rather than going to a place where you end up doming your belly. You'll see it, if you look down and your belly goes like this and the other goes flat. We want to keep it flat the whole time, and that is nice and controlled. Okay, we're going to start off lying down. Come all the way down, feet out, just settling into our mats here. Starting to visualize that core, starting to visualize that control that we're going to have on it. Manifesting the energy that we're going to need. Feeling our belly soft at the moment. Inhaling, feeling it rise nice and freely. Exhaling, feeling it fall naturally back down. Really feel heavy into your mat here. Really think about manifesting that control of our core already, even without us moving. Set that intention to ourselves to practice within our limit, not with our ego. Before we get practicing, I'll leave you with this one thing I always say. Practice makes progress, not perfect. For me, it just helps to take away the expectations, any kind of feeling of rejection or not being good enough. So whatever you do here today is working towards that progress wherever you want to be. Okay, coming into bridge. So set up your feet about hips width distance apart so you can just about touch your heels with your hands. Knees straight up. Now really think about the internal thighs here, the inner groin pulling towards one another to keep your knees facing to the ceiling. That is so important. All four corners of the feet on the ground here. You might start to rotate to the external, the outside edge of that feet, and that's going to take the knees out, but we want them facing up. Hands down. Coming into just a pelvic tilt to start with. So on your inhale, you're going to think about the pelvis pulling towards you, those front hip bones pulling towards you. You're tucking that pelvis under. You're not even lifting it off of the ground, but already you can feel the whole of that core, the whole of the back, pulling down to the ground by drawing the belly button, that area underneath your belly button, to the ground. Exhale, release. You can even put your hands on there if that's going to send the messages from your brain to the body. Inhale, pull everything in, pull those pelvis, pull the hip bones all the way up. Exhale, release. We'll do it one more time. Big inhale, draw the front hip bones up towards your face. Draw the belly button to your spine. Exhale, release, coming into our full bridge. Now if you want, or stay on the ground. Big inhale all the way up, drive the energy up, lifting that bum off of the ground. Same thinking here, that we're driving the energy down through our spine, drawing this core in. Think about a length here, think about driving the underside of your bum, that crease under your bum, driving it to the front of the mat. Rather than height, think about length. Keep drawing those thighs towards one another so you're not externally rotating. Using your breath here. Think about lifting that pelvic floor. Stay nice and strong, active in the glutes. One more breath. Exhale all the way down. Coming into our dead bugs now. We want to try and keep them as much of our lower back not curved, but there will be a natural curve. So take your feet off, you've got this 90-degree angle, your knees are straight above your hips, your feet straight out. Hands up to the sky. On our inhale, we're taking our left leg straight and our right arm straight. Now you dial it down to just a leg or an arm if you start to feel this doming effect happening. So quickly have a look. Are you able to keep control of your core by drawing your spine, belly towards your spine? Inhale all the way up. Next inhale, take your right leg long, left arm long. Keep that control, keep breathing here. Inhale up. And again, left leg, right arm. And up. Change sides. If you start to lose that control of your core, your lower back starts to lift off too much, just come out of it, take a break, come back in, switching over to the other side. The lower your legs and arms are to the ground, the harder it's going to be. So that could be where you take this up a notch, or where you dial it down and lift your legs and arms slightly further up. Final time, switching over. Remembering to breathe. Inhale all the way up. Now you can absolutely give your knees a bit of a hug into your chest here. Working into our obliques, taking the knees back to where they were. You can take your hands out to the side if this is going to give you a bit of extra stability. Trying to keep the knees above our hips at all times and our legs out straight in that 90-degree angle. On your exhale, we're taking our knees over to the right. Coming into a supine twist, but controlled. We're not taking our knees down. Really use this left oblique to keep you nice and controlled. Inhale all the way through center. Over to the other side. Using the right oblique. Now don't drop those knees down. Inhale up. Exhale over to the right. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Really feel all of those muscles in play here to keep us nice and controlled. Keeping that shoulder onto the ground, both shoulders onto the ground every time we come over to each side. Final time over to the left. Inhale all the way up. Hug your knees into your chest again. Really big morning stretch. Fingers and toes as far away from one another as possible. Hug the knees, and again now we're going to rock and roll up the mat. So if it's comfortable for you, do so. If not, roll over to one side. We're all coming into chair pose. See if you can use this movement to drive you all the way up to chair pose. You're going to have to use your core a lot. Coming into chair. Chair pose, we want to be able to see our toes, dropping our bum down, pulling these hip flexors into our face. Now that is if you've got a really sticky up bum, think about the hip flexors pulling in. If you know that you already slump like this, you've got a posterior tilt, then you're not going to be needing to do the same cue, but you're going to need to really engage this core. Pull the thighs together, arms by the ears. Keep the belly button drawing to the spine. Make sure the weight is in the heels, just wiggle your toes. Keep breathing here. Final inhale. Exhale all the way up through standing. Good job. Okay, toes together, heels apart. Big inhale, hands up, gaze up. Exhale, sweep all the way down, forward fold, knees bent, chest to thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, straight back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step straight back. We've got our high plank. We're going to hold here whether you're on your knees or not, driving the weight through our heels. Keeping that pelvis tucked so we're not sticking our bum out. We're driving the energy through our hands. Keeping that gaze straight down, probably just in front of those hands so you've got a nice straight neck. Keep this core engaged. Keep pushing the mat away, keep driving the energy out through the heels. Final inhale. Exhale. Inhale, shoulders over the wrists ever so slightly. Exhale all the way down to the mat. Untuck those toes, forehead down. Inhale, cobra, using those back muscles, the back core muscles, driving our forehead off of the ground, the front of our chest off. Take the hands off, just check that you are using those back muscles. Hands back down, exhale, forehead down. Either pushing up through your all fours or tucking your toes, really activating the core, pushing up through your plank, straight back to your downward dog. Breathing here, fingers spread nice and widely, making sure you're grounding through all of the edges of the hands. Externally rotating those shoulders. Belly button drawing to the spine. Inhale, right leg all the way up, three-leg dog, keeping those toes down to the ground. Exhale, tiger curl, tippy toes of the left foot, right knee bend. Pull this knee all the way through to the front of the mat. Setting up for your high lunge. Big inhale, come all the way up. Back leg bend ever so slightly to reduce that over-exaggerated bend in the lower back. Fronts of the hip bones pulling up. We've got our core engaged. Now we're going to lean forward, taking the weight forward with our arms still up. Just ever so slightly straightening through this back leg. We're going to repeat this. Start to take the weight forward, leaning forward, ever so slightly straightening up through that back leg. Inhale, back to your high lunge. Exhale, lean, really using that power of our core, keeping the core engaged. Back up. Keep going here in your own time. Making sure the glutes are firing, those legs are still firing. 3 more. 2 and 3. Now you can keep your hands up, or you might want to take your hands to your heart center. We're going to take this weight slightly forward and you're going to come into knee drive. So weight slightly forward, bring your knee towards your chest, knee straight back into your high lunge. Really driving through your core. Feeling every single movement nice and controlled. If you just want to stay in your high lunge, absolutely do so. 3 more. Using that right glute as well. This time we're going to be coming through to our stalk pose, so you can hands up or hands at heart center. In through your stalk. Pulling everything into that belly, all the way back, high lunge. Now, if you want to dial it down, going back to just those leaning forwards, or driving that knee up, absolutely, this is your practice. 3 more through to your stalk. That standing leg is going to be getting a nice work as well. This time, keep your stalk. Keep that knee drawing into your belly. Maybe you stay here or you keep your arms up and you drive that left leg straight out. Keeping the weight forward. We don't want to be leaning back. Keeping this energy driving up through the standing leg, flexing those toes. Keep breathing. 3 more breaths. Keep that foot up. Final breath. All the way down, exhale. I'll take any movements you need before we go to the next side. Okay, toes together, heels apart. Big inhale, hands up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold all the way down, knees bent, chest to thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, make sure that back is straight. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step straight back, high plank, knees up, knees down. Inhale, shoulders over the wrists, all the way down to cobra or halfway to your upward dog. Exhale, all the way back down dog. Inhale, left leg up, tiger curl. Exhale, drive that knee all the way through to the front of the mat. Setting up for your high lunge. You know where we're going here, so we're either staying in high lunge or you're starting to lean forward, slightly straightening through that back leg. And up. Keeping those arms, those biceps straight by the ears. Keeping that back nice and straight. Tiny movements. Keeping the energy driving through the belly button, keeping it nice and engaged towards the spine. 3 more here. 2 and 3. Coming into those knee drives, maybe you keep your arms up or you take your hands to heart center. Take this weight slightly forward, knee up and back. Fixing your gaze, your drishti to one place is going to help here. Help your balance. Again, you dial it down, you dial it up, you can take your hands up. That's going to create a little bit of extra push here. 3 more. Coming all the way up to our stalk pose. And back. Good work. 3 more. Still using that core. 1 more for me. Stay here. Take your hands down to your chest or keep them up, straighten through that front leg. Keep this weight forward, keep the hands straight up. Keep the energy driving through the standing leg so you're not dumping into that leg. Keeping this right hip level. Keep breathing. Final inhale. Exhale, release. Any movements you need. Okay, toes together, heels apart. Big inhale, hands up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stepping straight back to your high plank. All the way down, cobra or your upward dog. Down dog. Same as before, right leg up, 3 leg. All the way through, tiger curl. Inhale, high lunge. Taking that weight forward. Keep going. 3 more. Good work coming into those knee drives. Three more here. Coming through to your stalk. Driving that knee all the way up to your chest, using that core. Keeping your knee here, taking it out to the front. Hips level, hands high. Think about the belly drawing towards your spine. Exhale, release, hands down. Inhale, gaze up, arms up. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, high plank. Halfway or cobra. Upward dog if you're halfway. All the way back down dog. And again, 3-leg dog, left leg up. Tiger curl, that left knee all the way to the front. High lunge. Leaning forward. Keeping those biceps by the ears. Tiny, tiny movements, but gosh, I can feel it. 3 more here. Knee drives. Good work. 3 more. Coming all the way through to stalk now. Driving that knee as high up into the chest as you can. 3 more. Last time, keep your knee up. Keeping that leg high, keep working, well done. And release all the way, hands down. Final time, big inhale, hands up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. And fold. Into your vinyasa. Halfway, all the way, cobra or upward dog. All the way back down dog. Coming into wild thing now, 3-leg dog, right leg up, bend that knee. Coming onto your tippy toes, making sure the weight is forward, shoulders and wrists in line. Coming onto the outside edge of that left foot, taking that right foot back, maybe to the ground or hovering. Using that left oblique to keep driving the hip up high, sinking further down to the ground, taking that gaze up. Coming all the way back around now, keep working. Hand down to the mat, spinning onto the left toe, taking the right foot all the way through to your fallen star. Driving that right foot high. Keep working. Left hand back down, tiger curl. Step through, high lunge, good work. All the way up to your stalk pose. Leg out. Breathing here. And release, hands down. Inhale all the way up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway. And fold. Stepping the hands back into your vinyasa. Halfway or all the way. Cobra or upward dog. All the way back, downward dog. Wild thing on the other side, picking up the left leg. Bending that knee, tippy toes of the right foot, shoulders and wrists in line. And then starting to take that left leg back. Reaching that left hand all the way back and over. Outside edge of that right foot. Driving the heart to the sky. Inhale, coming into your fallen star, taking your left hand back down. Coming to the right foot now. Taking that left foot all the way through. Maybe it goes to the ground. Keep driving the mat. Inhale, tiger curl, draw that left knee in. Step all the way through. High lunge. Coming into your stalk. Driving that leg in front, good work. Holding here. And release. Hands down. Good work. We are making our way down to our lying now, I promise. Making it down to our backs. Bit of a roundabout way. We're going to be doing some work on the way down there. Chair pose, toes touching, heels apart. Inhale, drop the bum back. Check that you can see your toes. Think about those hip bones drawing to your face. Depending on if you've got that sticky out bum or not, just make sure you come into the most amount of neutral spine that you can. Take the hands to heart center. Just using your obliques. Exhale, take the left elbow towards the right thigh. just using those obliques. Inhale, back up. Exhale, right elbow to your left thigh. Inhale, back up. Other side, make sure you're still sinking that bum down. Other side. Inhale. Left elbow, right thigh. Keeping the hands at heart center. One more time, both sides. Coming back into your chair. Exhale, roll all the way down to seated. Take a mini break here, coming into our boat pose. Now, boat pose may just look like this. You really want to be thinking about the energy pulling up through the ceiling. So if at any point you start to slump, it just means that you are too far in. You just need to come out of it. That's why this can be the first position. Knees straight up, feet hips width apart. Really thinking about the belly engaged, pulling the chest through. We want to be leading with the chest, not with our shoulders. If this is for you, your boat pose, amazing. Maybe you start to play around lifting one leg up, lifting the other leg up. But if you lift those legs up and you start to slump, too far. Maybe you play around with lifting the legs up. But again, you want to keep everything lifting up. Energy driving up. Keeping the chest nice and bright, nice and lifted. Wherever you are, exhale, coming down to low boat. Driving this belly in. Now, this is the point where you're going to see that doming if it does happen. Big inhale all the way up to whatever your boat looks like. Keeping that energy right on your sit bones. Exhale, low boat. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. One more time, all the way down. Holding here, driving the belly button in. Driving those feet up. Keeping nice and engaged here. Final inhale. Exhale all the way down, relax. Really good work. Take some nice breaths. Feet out as wide as the mat, knock those knees in. Just breathe here, helping your breath calm down. Feel that belly inhaling, rising to the ceiling. Exhaling, falling down. Three more deep breaths here. Once you come to the end of that final breath, completely roll over to your stomach. Working the muscles on our backs now, the core muscles on our backs. Coming into our Sphinx pose. So you're taking your forearms straight down, they're parallel to one another. Your palms are straight down. Shoulders and elbows in line with one another. Think about this chest pulling through. Think about the weight driving through those forearms to keep you feeling nice and lifted. Stretching through this back. You can release your glutes here. Now, if this is too much of a stretch for your lower back, you can come down, you can rest your hands with your head, so you can place your fists on top of one another, or just hands placed on one another and forehead resting on to them as so. If you're in Sphinx, keep thinking about lifting, keep thinking about pulling that chest through. Shoulders ever so slightly drawing away, shoulder blades drawing together. Now maybe you stay here, or maybe you tuck the toes and start to come up to a forearm plank, taking that belly off of the ground. Again, energy driving through those heels, pushing all of those forearms and hands into the ground to keep you nice and lifted. Keeping those shoulders feeling like they're driving towards one another, so you're activating the front of your chest.
Keeping this pelvis tucked so you're not sticking your bum out. Gaze straight in between those arms so you've got a nice long neck. Keep breathing. Now maybe you stay here, or maybe you start to walk the feet in to your dolphin pose. Walking the feet towards those elbows, driving the bum up. And then exhaling, coming back down, or holding your dolphin. All the way back up. Wherever you are, keep that energy driving through the forearms. Keep those shoulders drawing into one another. We're not going to be here for much longer, and then you have done all of the hard work. If you're coming with me in dolphin, we'll do one more. Holding here in dolphin, keep that energy driving through your bum. Final inhale. Exhale, release wherever you are. Sinking back into our child's pose. Feeling that breath start to calm down. Expanding through the back and sides of the ribs. Feeling the shoulders feel heavier into the ground. Hips sinking down to the heels. Final breath here. Big sigh, exhale everything out. Walk the hands in. Swing the legs all the way around to the front. From here, we're going to take the left leg long, right knee bent up. Over that left thigh, left hand comes to the outside of that right thigh, right hand behind us. Sit on a block if that's needed so that you don't slump. Inhale, think about lifting. Exhale, think about spinning. Really using that left oblique to spin your left ribcage round to the right. Every inhale, think about lifting. Every exhale, think about twisting. Final breath here. Slowly unravel yourself, switching over to the other side, left leg up and over. Right hand to the outside of that left thigh, left hand behind. Inhale, lengthen, crown of the head driving to the sky. Exhale, twist. Keep breathing here. Keep spinning the right side around to the left. Final inhale. Exhale. And slowly come all the way back round. Taking our legs now into our butterfly. So soles of the feet together, knees fall out to the side. Taking quite a wide stance here so our heels quite far away from our groin. Walking the hands forward, coming into a passive stretch, so allowing our head to completely hang here, rounding through that spine. That head feeling heavier and heavier, feeling it stretch the back of the neck. Belly feeling really soft. The more I'm flattering this angle, the better. Nice calming, slow, even breaths. Filling up through the back of the ribs, the sides of the ribs. giving a massage to all of those muscles we've been working. Closing down the eyes already if you want to, because we're coming into our Shavasana. Inhale, really slowly sit back up, knees into the center. Hands out in front of you and slowly roll all the way down to the ground, nice and controlled. Take any extra movements you feel like you need. Happy baby, hips side to side, supine twist, big stretches, anything that calls to you. And when you're ready for stillness, coming into your Shavasana. Feet as wide as the mat, hanging out to the side, hands away from the body, palms facing up. Closing down the eyes if they aren't already. Feeling nice and heavy here. Fully relaxed. Take that body scan that I always encourage so that you can become more in tune with where you hold tension, where you feel easily relaxed, and that's stuff that you can take into your daily life. If you can stay here for longer, please do. If not, start to bring some movement, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. Big morning stretch, fingers and toes as far away from one another as possible. Bending up the knees, rolling over to one side in a tiny ball, using that arm as a pillow. Keeping the eyes closed, roll all the way up whenever you're ready, head feeling nice and heavy. Back to seated, hands on your thighs, palms facing up. Did you work within your limit, or did that ego drive you slightly today? Even if it was your ego, know that that is okay. We are all a work in progress. And now that you've noticed it, is there anything that you could take into our next session? In any situation that you find your ego fighting and reacting before you have taken the chance to see how you feel about the situation. Hands to heart center, thumbs to the third eye, bowing the chin. Amazing work. Joining in with this class today, selecting this class. The core is so important to so many things, our breathing, our posture. Any pain, it helps reduce. Our digestive organs, making them work efficiently, so many things, so well done. Stability, mobility, it's very important to work on. Thank you very much. To the end of the class, hands away from the eyes, and blink the eyes open whenever you're ready.